Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode. This is episode number 69, and we start today's episode off here with a media article saying we're probably going to finish in 4th place in the Bundesliga, which I think is a little bit off. I'll be very disappointed if it is 4th place, but still, following that, a bid came in for our left back here, Masuaku. Sampdoria want to take our French defender for £18 million, but of course we say no. Masuaku came in the first season in the first transfer window, and he's been one of our most underrated players, grown to an 81 overall, very, very good, and I have no plans to sell him. Also, one of our youth team players has been sold as he was pretty poor, and also Juventus rejected a second, or was it third bid, I think, actually, for Paul Pogba, as they keep on saying he's too valuable. So as Barcelona get a bid in for Werner and we reject it, it looks as though Paul Pogba will not be coming to the Volks Park Stadion. A bit of a shame because of his contract coming at the end of the year. It would have been amazing to get him on the cheap, but instead I thought, why don't we go for the position where we were focusing on before the transfer window started, where I felt we needed the most improvement, that is the left midfield role. And I thought, why don't we try and sign this guy? His contract is not come at the end of the year, but he's an absolutely awesome player, and we could have the money to buy him. Marco Reus, the German left midfielder that now plays for Arsenal, of course, formerly of Borussia Dortmund, as Sassuolo putting a bid here for Maximilian Meyer. Marco Reus would be a fantastic signing for us, and him going down our left-hand side, he would improve that area for us. Again, it probably is our weakest in the first 11. It's actually the only position where we don't have a player's 80 plus in the overall. So Marco Reus put a valuation bid of £35 million, and we shall wait and see what Arsene Wenger says.
They're not always household names, the fullbacks, but I think this player, obviously, has got the potential to be one.
Yeah, we always talk about the attacking qualities of fullbacks these days, but what I like about this lad is he's an out-and-out defender, hard to get past.
And for the first game of today's episode here, we take on Eintracht Frankfurt away from home in the Bundesliga opening day. Now, of course, we won the Bundesliga last season, our first ever league title with Hamburg. So in season 4, it's going to be all about the defence of this trophy. Can we hang on to our league title and win it for a second successive year? Well, we want to start off brightly, and in the opening day as well, on the first season, we lost to Bayern Munich away, but the previous 2 years we've had wins, first at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach and then away against Borussia Mönchengladbach. So coming to this one here, I was fancy our chances of getting off to a really good start and a winning start as well away against Eintracht Frankfurt. Not much really happened in the first half, but in the second half here, just after the restart, we had a golden opportunity to take the lead, and for Angel Correa, top scorer of the Bundesliga in the previous 2 years with 23 and then 21 goals respectively, he should have had his first of the new season. Sane's shot was deflected, it fell to him, and he scissor kicked the ball on the half volley way over the bar and blazed it off target and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0. Flume had a great chance to give the home side a shot lead as well, just past the hour mark. His shot going wide the post when played through 1-on-1 after Valente came out to meet him. But we would have a ball in the back of the net a few minutes later through Angel Correa, who thought he'd scored his first of the new season, but sadly for us, as you can see, the linesman disallowed the goal for offside, and it was the correct decision as well. Really nice through ball by Leroy Sane here to play it through towards the path of Correa. His first time finish, found the back of the net, but as you could see, it was disallowed for offside, and correctly so, as he strayed a yard offside. So final score was 0-0 here, the first time we've drawn on the opening day of the Bundesliga season, and it's a disappointing result for us as well. As you see the stats right here, we had 7 shots and 5 on target as well. And really, we should have got the 3 points in this game. We played well, we had the chances, we just didn't take them. Good to see Danilo get man the match for his debut performance, but either way, we had the chances in that one. We did find the back of the net, but it was disallowed for offside, and in the end, just didn't do enough to finish the chances we got and claim all 3 points. So it's not a terrible result, and it's only, the first game of the season. There's an awful long way to go, of course, but I'm pretty disappointed we didn't get off to a winning start like we did the previous 2 years. But still, following that, a bid came in for Jonathan Tah of £15 million, but we reject it as we don't want to get rid of Tah, so Monaco will have to look elsewhere for a new centre-back. And also, as well, as you can see, Sassuolo came back to us, said they wouldn't match the counter-offer for Maximilian Meyer, which is not a real surprise, and Arsenal rejected the bid for Marco Reus. So pretty disappointing. I'd love to get Marco Reus to the club. I think he'd be probably the best target for the left midfield role. Obviously, being German is pretty cool, because I like to sign players to come from the same nation as the club, and also he's 29 years old now, so he is sort of coming into his well, he's in his late 20s obviously, and approaching his early 30s, but he's just an awesome player. 88 overall. I've had him before in my Hertha Berlin save, and I said during that save he's one of the best players I've ever used in FIFA. He's just so good, it's ridiculous. But still, Ashton Gutz maybe going to Kaiserslautern for £500,000, and then how about this? The unthinkable has just happened. Cesar Valente comes to us and requests a transfer. He says, I've spent a lot of time considering my future, and although I know the timing is bad, I need a change of scenery. I'd like a move immediately. So Cesar Valente comes to us and says that he wants to leave the club, wants to leave Hamburg, and wants to go somewhere else. So a question for you guys today: what would you do in this situation? What would you do if your star player, the kid you've given all your training to, you've devoted all your time on a training ground to, you've basically groomed him from being what he was, which was an academy player who could have a big future, to being 20 years old and already considered one of the best, if not the best goalkeepers in the world? What would you do? He's one of the best players in the world, just 20 years old. He's unique. He is just, well, he's a Bundesliga winner. He's a Deutsche Pokal winner. He's a World Cup winner, Confederations Cup winner. The kid is going to go on to become the best goalkeeper in the world and possibly one of the best goalkeepers of all time. What would you do? Well, I didn't know what to do. I panicked because the day after, as you can see, the news hadn't really sunk in. It was just, it hit me like a ton of bricks, but I still couldn't really digest it properly. And as you can see, bids came in for him the day after he put himself on a transfer list. First from Real Madrid and then from Barcelona. We reject both of the bids though. I was like, I need to stall this. I need to give myself some more time. What do I do here? Because yes, of course we could sell Cesar Valente. We could sell him for about 70 to 80 million pounds, but he's just that good. He's one of the best goalkeepers ever used in FIFA. Surely we can't get rid of him. He's the star of the show. What do I do? What do I do? And my mind was just collapsing. And then the day after that transfer request, Marco Reus may be coming to Hamburg because Arsenal accepted a 40 million pound bid, but I couldn't even devote much attention to that because all my mind and all I could think of was, what am I going to do about Cesar Valente? I asked him to discuss a new contract with me and he wouldn't pick up the phone. He was saying he doesn't want to talk to me. It's ridiculous. Cesar Valente may be leaving the club, and in the space of 2 days we've gone from absolute disaster to absolute joy because Marco Reus accepts his contract and comes in for 40 million pounds. So we've got one of the best deals of the series so far. Reus is an absolutely unbelievable player on FIFA, so for 40 million pounds I'm totally happy with this deal, but I couldn't really give much attention to it because I'm too worried about what's going to happen to Cesar Valente. Having sleepless nights. What do I do with Cesar Valente? Well, we do sign Marco Reus for 40 million pounds, a big signing, our biggest signing, our new record signing, and everyone's happy about it, but that's being overshadowed right now by Valente Gate. What is going to happen to Cesar Valente? And you can see Marco Reus' stats here, absolutely awesome. As I said before, one of the best players I've ever used on FIFA. The guy is just an absolute monster, and he'll be an amazing signing for us on the left-hand side. But still, the news is big. What is going to happen to Cesar Valente? I had absolutely no idea what to do. He's attracting interest. There are so many clubs that are going to want to take the Brazilian boy to their side. But as you can see, the board come to us on the 25th of August and say they are not going to be interfering in the Cesar Valente situation. They're going to allow me to make the decision regarding the player's future at the football club. So thank goodness for that. At least I get the final say. At least he won't be sold behind my back. But for this game against Hertha Berlin, the second of the season, how about this? I decided to play hardball and I said, Cesar Valente, you're not leaving the club and I'm dropping you to the reserves. He's out of the matchday squad for Hertha Berlin and he doesn't even make the bench.
It's a first appearance for Marco Reus, and I'm sure he'll be a bit nervous today, but he's obviously got all the ability in the world, really.
He has, and he might take a little bit of time for him to settle, get used to his new teammates, but once he does, they've got a proper player here.
So no Cesar Valente in the matchday squad for the Hertha Berlin game, and I just thought to myself, this buys me time here. Mikel will come in, he's 77 overall, he's not a bad goalkeeper at all, he's not great, he's not a Cesar Valente type of goalkeeper, but he's not bad, so I'll play Mikel and I'll give myself more time to think about Valente because I've dropped into the reserves, but I'm still not sure whether I want to keep him here or not, because if he wants to wait, if he doesn't want to play, do I really want to keep an unhappy player here? There's so much to consider and there's so much to think about, but we had to put it to the back of our mind minds for this game as well as we could regardless for this game against Hertha Berlin, our second of the season. Marco Reus would make his debut as well down the left-hand side, and he almost scored his first goal for the club as well. He was played through one-on-one, but the Hertha Berlin goalkeeper made a fantastic save and kept the score scoreless. But we would open the scoring note in the 27th minute. Angel Correa didn't score in the first game, but he found Maximilian Meyer for our first goal of the season, and what a fantastic assist from Correa as well. Down the right-hand side, he beat his man on a one-on-one with a sensational piece of skill, went down the right-hand side, cut through, and then drilled across the face of goal, and Maximilian Meyer, with the finish, found the back of the net. So a brilliant piece of skill by Correa, showing his pace, getting away from the defender, drilling it in, and Maximilian Meyer simply couldn't miss. And for Yannick Gerhardt, he did well to duck away from the shot and stop the shot, well, to stop himself from blocking the shot and make sure it would go in. So Hertha Berlin 0, Hamburg 1, and we would make it 2-0 as well 5 minutes before the break. Marco Reus with a fantastic tackle, played it through towards Angel Correa, who went through one-on-one, and what a great finish by the Argentine. He was denied by the offside flag, his first goal of the season in the last game, but what a sensational goal by the Argentine. A debut assist for Marco Reus, who was looking good in the first half. No surprises there. He won the ball back, played a great through ball over the top, but Angel Correa still had an awful lot of work to do here to take it round the last man covering and also blast the ball in with a weaker right foot at a tight angle. But he did all of those things. A fantastic finish, and Correa is off the mark for the third season. So 2-0 to Hamburg. At half-time, I was thinking everything's going according to plan. Valente may not be playing, but we're keeping a clean sheet as things stand. We're 2 goals up. There's no nerves. Everyone's put it to the back of their minds. They're all going out there and doing their jobs. We're doing totally fine. There's no panic whatsoever. But in the second half, directly from kickoff, Hertha Berlin came through here with Derrida, playing it out wide towards the number 24, who takes it round Nicholas Saul, gets across into the centre, finds Ibisevic, who wins the header in the centre, puts it past Mikel, and we can see our first goal of the season with Ibisevic, the number 19, making it 2-1. And halving the deficit for Hertha Berlin. So the Olympiastadion is rocking. Hertha Berlin are back in the game right from kickoff. They go down the right hand side, and this was such a poor goal to concede as well. We had 2 players as well, Hoffman and Danilo, going for that header, but they allowed Ibisevic to get through the middle of them and win the header and put it past Mikel. So 2-1, and they had a great chance to make it 2-2 here at Hertha Berlin and come back from 2 goals down 22 minutes after the restart. Stark found the goal scorer Ibisevic through towards his teammate. Number 24 went for goal, but what a save by Mikel, standing in for Cesar Valente and coming up big. Great save by the 29-year-old, and it was still 2-1 to Hamburg. But with 4 minutes to go though, how about this? Derrida found Langkamp, who played it through towards Nicholas Stark. Hertha Berlin had one final chance to get themselves back on level terms, and as Bruno Perez found Alagui here, he took it around his man and played it through towards Lustenberger. His shot was blocked by Huffman, but they kept the chance alive, and Ibisevic, the goal scorer, went to shoot on the half volley. Holtby came across to try and win it and took down number 19, and the referee awarded a penalty to Hertha Berlin. A clumsy challenge from Holtby. He didn't win the ball. Ibisevic went to shoot, got caught up and tangled with Holtby's legs, and the referee gave a spot kick to Hertha Berlin. And in the final minute of normal time, we didn't have Valente on the pitch. It was up to Mikel. Could he save the penalty from Derrida, or would Hertha Berlin come from 2 goals down to make it 2-2? Well, unfortunately, it turned out to be the latter. A wry smile from Cesar Valente at home, watching the game on TV, I'm sure, because Hertha Berlin battled back from 2 goals down at the break to make it 2-2 and end the game with a point. 2-2 the final score. We throw away 2 points, and what a poor start to the season, because 2 games in, we've had 2 draws, 0 wins, and everything is falling apart for Hamburg to begin season 4. Cesar Valente, our most influential player, has requested a transfer. He wants to leave. He does not want to stay. We've had 2 draws from our first 2 games in the Bundesliga in our title defense season. Are we ready to implode with Hamburg, and is this the beginning of the end of our successful times at the Volkspark Stadion? Is everything about to fall apart? Well, we're going to find out in the next episode with the conclusion of the summer transfer window and the Valente saga as well. It's going to be dramatic, and the next episode could determine the fate of the season and the series as well. But that is going to be today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like. Likes are much appreciated, and of course they really help the channel out as well. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode very soon, which will feature the end of the summer transfer window and the Valente saga as well. Don't miss it. It's going to be big, and I'll see you for it very soon.